அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். 5 பேச்சாளர்கள் வரவேண்டிய கல்வியை பற்றிய இந்த அமர்வில் சம்பத் அவர்களே தலைமையேற்று தனி கச்சேரி நடத்த வேண்டிய சூழ்நிலைக்கு வந்திருக்கிறோம். ஒரு 34 ஆண்டுகளாக நான் கல்வித்துறையில் இருக்கிறேன். I would use both English and Tamil so that our President of Mauritius here, you will be also able to follow, and others in the audience. We started the VIT, in those days it was called Vellore Engineering College, in 1984. We started with 180 students in Vellore. Now we have 4 campuses: Vellore, Chennai, Amaravati, Andhra Pradesh, and Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. We have 39,000 students now. We have, of course, I have gained 34 years of experience in education. I spent a lot of years in politics. As I was introduced by Mr. V.R.S. Sampath, I was sent to Parliament in 1967 by our late leader Anna. Second time, it was Kalaignar Karunanidhi who was responsible for my going to Parliament in 1971. With Puratchi Thalavar MGR, the matinee idol who dominated the politics for 20 years, he asked me to come back to the State Assembly, and with Madam Jayalalitha, I was a minister. With this, I took leave of politics and entered education. Now I am here to address some of the issues on education in the country. All of us know that India is one of the youngest countries of the world, even though it is the oldest country as far as culture is concerned. Our population is 1.34 billion, or 134 crores this year. And out of this, 65% are below the age of 25. That's what we call demographic dividend. It is not an ordinary thing. We have an excellent opportunity to grow. The median age of Indians is 26, whereas in all countries it is above 30 and 40. If we are able to offer good education, quality education to all our children, India can overtake many other countries, even advanced countries of the world. But is it happening? It is possible that India also can become a hub of the global hub of higher education. But it has not happened so far. In fact, our own students, nearly 5.86 lakh of students are outside the country, studying in 86 countries. And we are spending about 80,000 crores in foreign exchange every year. Not that I'm against students going out of the country, but there are no facilities to study within the country in some areas like medicine. Our gross enrollment ratio in higher education is 24%. Whereas it varies from 50% to 100% in advanced countries. As far as literacy is concerned, it is 74% in the country. Of course, Tamil Nadu is a bit higher, but the world average is 84%. And in school education, once it was a state subject in school education. Under emergency in 1975, it was brought to concurrent list by Madam Indira Gandhi. Now both the central government and the state governments are responsible for growth of education. But I find education does not find importance either among the political parties or among the governments, because people feel education will not bring you votes. So that many of them don't talk about education, even in the election campaign. But I strongly feel that whichever country is economically advanced, they become like this only after advancement in education. I will compare just 3-4 countries. In 1960, we measured the country's wealth by per capita income. In 1960, the per capita income in China were around $80. At the time, the per capita income of South Korea was $160, and per capita income of Japan was $480. That was in 1960. If you take 2018, because all those countries are concentrating on education, China has grown to $10,000 from $80. From $160, Korea has gone to $32,000. And from $480, Japan has got to $40,000. It means it's a clear indication that if you concentrate on education, and of course with other policies as well, a country can become an advanced country. Why we are not able to do it? Why we are lagging behind? In school education, even though we are able to offer school education to all our children in the country, we have 26 lakhs of schools in India, 15 lakhs of schools in India, and 26 crores of children studying. But what kind of school education, quality of education we offer? Some time ago, there was a survey of world countries in school education. And 74, usually it is done for OECD countries. And India also joined in 2009. They were ranked, the countries were ranked in education. And India's ranking was 73 out of 74. Only one country was behind us, it's called Kyrgyzstan. All of them were above us. The top countries were not America or Britain, it's all Asian countries. Korea, Hong Kong, Singapore, Japan were the top, except one country in Europe. The rest of them are from Asia. So there is a very good opportunity for us to learn from others. And it is time now that we wake up and spend enough money, give enough education to our children. For a long time, the recommendation from Dr. Radhakrishnan Commission onwards, the recommendation is that 6% of the GDP should be spent on education. மொத்த வருவாயில 6% கல்விக்கு செலவழிக்க வேண்டும். After 70 years of independence, we have not yet crossed 4%. Even though all of us know that both the government, central government and the state government are responsible, we are unable to spend enough money, maybe due to other reasons. We have not crossed. In the last budget prepared by our Honorable Minister, Finance Minister, it is about touching 3.9%. So we have a long way to go to encourage education, to offer higher education, especially to poor and middle class. At present, only the upper class or those who have got enough vigilance go to higher education, others stop with school education. In fact, to encourage this, I wanted to make a district a model. In our own district, Vellore district, where Sampath and myself belong to, we have started a scheme called Anaivarukkum Uyar Kalvi, Universal Higher Education Trust. And in the last 5 years, we have given 5,000 scholarships to poor children, irrespective of caste and religion, and 2/3 have gone to girls. Normally, after 10th or 12th class, they will get the girl married so that their burden will be over. Now we tell them, yes, you get married, but let her get 1 degree, whatever she wants or whatever she deserves. And we want to make it a model so that it can be replicated in all the 740 districts of India. It is possible for others also to follow. Unless we do well in higher education, it's not going to be possible for us to become an advanced country. As I told you, there is scarcity. Take, for example, medicine. It's the ideal example of how a country is unable to provide educational facilities to our own children. 13 lakhs, 1.3 million of them want to study medicine in this country, those who appear for the NEET examination. And those who clear the examination is about 700,000, 7 lakhs. But the available seats are only around 60,000. So where will they go? They go all over the world to study medicine, all the developing countries they are, and poor countries. Except Pakistan, you will find our students studying everywhere. Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Ukraine, China. We have 40,000 students in Russia, more than 40,000 in China. You go anywhere, they will study medicine there. And when they come back, they cannot practice in India. They have to write a test and pass it. And every year, not more than 10% clear the examination. They have to wait for years to practice in India, and becomes a waste. They go 5, 6 years and spend enough money because there are no enough seats in medicine. May not be the other case in other, for example, engineering we have 15 lakhs, 1.5 million seats a year. At least 10% of engineering seats could be given to medicine, which is not possible. Now this government is trying to increase the seats, but it's very slow. Because we restrict the number of admission in medical colleges. They say more than 100 or 150 cannot be admitted. I find 400 students are admitted in UK. 600 students are admitted in China. And the only condition is at least 400 should be given to Chinese students. The rest you can offer to anybody. I went to a partner university in China. We have 13 partner universities. And I found there are a lot of Indians, particularly South Indians, studying. And I found out of these 200 seats given to foreigners every year, 170 or 190 is given to Indians, that to South Indians. That's the kind of scarcity we have, artificial scarcity. It's not God's given scarcity, it's man-made scarcity. And this is time now, put an end to this scarcity, and all of them will be able to get higher education. And unless we do this, it's going to be difficult for us to come up. And how the government spends. There is no scholarship scheme as a nation, either for poor students or middle class students. Some scholarships are given to SC, ST or minorities, etc. There is no national level scholarship scheme. That is why the gross enrollment ratio or access to higher education is only 24%. If some scheme is given, in fact, the last committee which was appointed by the present government, Modi ji government, it's called TSR Subramaniam Committee, which recommended that 10 lakhs of scholarship, 1 million scholarships should be given by the central government to needy students every year, but somehow that committee was not, the report was not accepted by government, and now another committee has been formed. It's called the Kasturangan Committee, which is still not submitted the report. They want to have a new education policy. It is welcome that the policy, new education policy is brought into the country because we are suffering for the last so many years. You know, it is 1991 when the new economic policy was introduced in the country, when Narasimha Rao was the Prime Minister and Dr. Manmohan Singh was the Finance Minister of India. A new economic policy was introduced. It's called LPG, liberalization, privatization and globalization. That brought an end to the license permit Raj. That's what Rajaji called it, the license permit Raj. It came to an end, but it has not happened in education. That's why we tell them the chains, the shackles on Lakshmi was removed in 1991. It still continues for Saraswati even after 27 years. Saraswati also is a time to be liberated, because only then we will be able to compete. And there is so much difference. There is no level playing field in India between central government institutions, state government institutions, and private institutions. Take, for example, we call some of them institutions of national importance, about 110 institutions in the country. We have around 900 universities and 50,000 colleges. Some of them are called institutions of national importance. University of Madras cannot be called like that. Anna University cannot be called. Only institution funded by central government can become institution of national importance. And how are they becoming national importance? I'll give you a concrete example, how power is being misused. I am not accusing this, but it's happening. There is one institute in Tamil Nadu called Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Youth Development. It was a deemed university. It's one of the categories of university. And in 2009, a committee was appointed by the previous government, UPA 2 government, under Manmohan Singh, to assess the deemed universities in the country, about 130 deemed universities. This particular institution was given 2 marks out of 45 by the committee. They divided the universities into A, B, C, and this was put in C category. C category means either you have to close down or you have to become an affiliated college. You cannot continue to be a university. That's what this institute was. Suddenly we found that a bill was introduced in Parliament of India, and this Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Youth Development was declared as an institution of national importance with 20 crores of rupees. I told them, yes, it is possible because it is the place of Madhvacharya, who said, I will convert Harijans into Brahmins. That's what happened to this institute. It was a C-class institution under Tandon committee and became an institution of national importance. That's how there is so much difference between institution funded by state government, central government, and the private sector. In fact, the courts also behave like this. I don't understand why. For example, there are 3 judgments within a period of 1 year on deemed university. 4 deemed universities were offering engineering through distance education. And it went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court declared that it was illegal to offer engineering through distance education. And instead of punishing those 4 universities, they punished all the 130 universities. We were also one among them. When we went on appeal, appeal was dismissed. So we are waiting. They said, you have to go to AICT for approval, and you cannot call yourself a university, etc., all kinds of things. Because it is Supreme Court, 2 judges came and delivered the judgment. We could not do anything. We were waiting. In the meantime, after 4 months came another case before it, the same court. That is from Andhra. The Andhra Technical University, Jawaharlal Nehru Technical University, is called JNTU, was offering engineering through distance education, same case. When the case came up, the Attorney General of India appeared before the court and said that may be allowed. And Supreme Court allowed it. They can continue. Then came a recent judgment. It is the case of Indira Gandhi National Open, it's called IGNU, Indira Gandhi National Open University. They are offering engineering through distance education. The court said, not only they can continue, they need not go to AICT for approval. These are the 3 judgments of the same court within a year. We do not know where to go. This is a democratic country, and we are practicing democracy. Our democracy is a different kind of democracy. Because all other democracies will have only 2 or 3 parties. US is called the greatest democracy on earth. They have only 2 parties, Democratic Party and Republican Party. The oldest democracy in the world is Britain. They have only 3 or 4 parties. But how many parties do we have? We have 1,900 political parties in the country. And one of the states which have maximum political parties is Tamil Nadu, about 140 political parties. I'm talking about registered parties. Recognized parties are different. Recognized parties are about 80 or so. All India. I'm talking about registered and not recognized. This is only to show that our democracy is a bit different from other forms of democracy. We call it the largest democracy under the sun in the world. And what kind of country we can have under these circumstances? That's why education do not find an importance in our country. Unless we give importance, unless the government spends more money, the people, the family has to spend more money. That's what is happening. For example, there are 80 countries in the world where they spend more than India on education. 5%, 6%, 7%, even there are countries who spend more than 7% of their GDP on education. and we are nowhere near them. And why can't it happen in our country? It is possible. I want at least now there should be vigilance in the country. They say eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. That can become only through education. If you want good country, a democratic country, a democracy to survive, that's possible only through education. And there is growth. In spite of all these things, there is growth in the country. After 1991, the new economic policy, till that time, the economic growth rate was only around 3 to 4%, what they called Hindu rate of growth. But then started with 5, 6, 7, 8, even 1 year we went up to 10% growth rate. It is possible because of the liberalization. That liberalization has not been applied to education. If that comes, then we will also grow. And there should be a level playing field between institutions funded by state government, central government, private sector, etc. At present, it's not there. For example, an institution, a deemed university or some other university, is rated based on accreditation. You know, accreditation is the best thing in all the advanced countries. What is higher education in India? It is affiliation, approval, NOC, permission, recognition. This is higher education. And you have to get, if I want to build a college or a university in Madras city, I will have to get 13 NOCs for a building. It is not getting NOC, it is buying NOC. And after this, it will go to the state secretariat. Those people will take the calculator and ask you how many square feet building. If you have 6 lakhs of square feet, they will say 6 lakhs into 30, 40, 50, depending upon your status, then you will have to pay. Only then approval will be given. I don't say that it's happening all over the country, but in many states it happens. For example, I am there in Andhra Pradesh for the last 3 years. 200 acres of his land was allotted to us by the Honorable Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu. Then 100 acres was given. It was registered. You know what is the registration process in some states. And our plan was approved within 2 days. There was no NOCs. And the last 3 years, I must tell you, not a single rupee I paid as a bribe. Is it possible? Cannot be. It's possible in other states also. I want at least education to be liberated from corruption. You know what is happening in education sector. And I want this liberation, the reformation, should begin in education, because those students who study in educational institutions are going to be the bureaucrats, the politicians, the industrialists, the businessmen in their later life. If they are going to face capitation, corruption and black money in the school education or college education, what kind of citizens will make them in the future? I think time now we realize the importance of education. And whatever growth takes place, it should go to all the people of the country. It's not happening. There is so much economic inequality in India. Among the world countries, we are number 2 in inequality. The first country is Russia. Once it was a socialist country. Now it is the most unequal country in the world, and second comes India. In fact, in India, the country's wealth, 70% of the country's wealth is owned by 57 people. They are called billionaires. Tamil Koteeswarargal solron. 57 of them own 70% of the wealth of the country. Probably this is not known to the people because they do not know about it. If there is education among all of them, particularly higher education, it may not be equal, but it cannot be so much unequal in the society. It's also time that we realize that whatever the country earns or country gets, it should reach all other people. We have a big society of middle class and the poor class, and they cannot be dealt with like this. So there is all the more importance why education should be given importance in the society and the country, and we must be able to compete with other countries. For example, higher education, the ultimate mecca is US, Australia, UK, etc. We can compete with them provided education is liberated, and the country also encourages poor and middle class students to have education. The scarcity in education should be removed, and all kinds of barriers in education. For example, the regulatory bodies. There are 17 regulatory bodies in education, like Medical Council of India, Nursing Council of India, Bar Council of India, All India Council for Technical Education, all kinds of people sitting in Delhi. You will have to go and stand before them for months and months to get your permission. That's what was happening to industries till 1991. They will have to go and stand before suitcases, before Udyog Bhavan to get their licenses for industries. That is still continuing in education. That's why I want liberalization to take place in education so that we can also march forward in education. And also the government should spend minimum 6% or up to even more than 6% so that the families will not be compelled to spend more. Now the families have to spend more because the government is not spending. These are certain problems. I'm not going into the details, but these are the certain problems we are facing. And in some way, Tamil Nadu is a bit higher because all the educational institutes were started here 150, 200 years ago. Thanks to the British and the fathers who came here. They were sent here for promoting religion. Somehow, they took interest in the people and started schools and colleges. And some of them went for English, Tamil language. In 1856, a book was published by Bishop Robert Caldwell. It's called a comparative grammar of Dravidian languages or South Indian languages. It was published in 1856. He studied English, then Tamil, Sanskrit, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada, all other languages, and finally produced a book, Tamil adukku Dravida Modigalin Oppilakkanam per. He only found out and told the world that there are two groups of languages in the country. One is called Indo-Aryan languages born out of Sanskrit, and the southern languages are called Dravidian languages born out of Tamil. And these are the two groups of languages in existence. And we have found out that the civilization, Indus Valley civilization, which existed 4,000 to 5,000 years ago, was a Dravidian or a Tamilian civilization. And this was found out by the foreigners who came here. And because of that, Tamil Nadu is a bit higher than the other states in education. In fact, we are going to give a copy of this book to all the delegates on Monday, where we are beginning the Tamil Iyakkam. I will give you a few sentences on that. October 15 Tamil Iyakkam தொடக்க விழா சென்னை ராஜா அண்ணாமலை மன்றத்தில் நடக்க இருக்கிறது. அதனுடைய இது தமிழ் மேல் உள்ள ஆசையால் தோன்றியது, தமிழ் மேல் உள்ள காதலால் தவிர மற்ற மேல்கள் உள்ள வெறுப்பால் அல்ல. அதனால் அதனுடைய பொருளே தமிழ்நாட்டில் தமிழை பாதுகாப்பது, அயல் நாடுகளில் தமிழை வளர்ப்பது. அது என்ன பாதுகாப்பு தேவைன்னா, முதல்ல இப்போ நாங்கள்லாம் மாணவர்களாக இருக்கும்போது வகுப்பில் போய் ஒரு 40-50 பேர் எடுத்து படித்தா அநேகமாக ஒரு 3-4 பேர் தான் வடமொழி இருக்கும், மற்றெல்லாம் தமிழ் பேராக இருக்கும். பேரை கேட்டவுடனே இவன் தமிழன்னு கண்டுபிடிச்சிடலாம். இன்றைக்கி பேரை பார்த்து தமிழன்னு கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியாது. ஒன்றா அவங்க அப்பா பேரை கேட்கணும், அல்லது தாத்தா பேரை கேட்டால் தான் இவன் தமிழன்னு கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியும். 2 நிகழ்ச்சி அது மாதிரி நடந்தது. ஒன்று டர்பன் நிகழ்ச்சி. டர்பனுக்கு போன போது என் கூட ஒரு பையன் பேசிகிட்டு இருந்தான். சம்பத் தான் அப்புறம் சொன்னார். அவன் பேர் கோவலன். 6 to 7 லட்சம் தமிழர்கள் டர்பனில் இருக்காங்க. ஆனால் தமிழ் பேச வராது. நம்ம நாயுடு அங்கே இருக்கார், லோகி நாயுடு. தமிழும் வராது, தெலுங்கு வராது அவருக்கு. அதனால் அப்போ எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சது இவ்வளோ பேர் தமிழர்கள் இருக்காங்க, ஆனால் தமிழ் இல்லை, அவர்களுக்கு நாம் ஏதாவது உதவி செய்யணும். இன்னொரு நிகழ்ச்சி, நான் போபாலுக்கு போயிருந்தேன். அங்கே ஒரு பெரிய அரசியல் தலைவர் வர்றதாக சொல்லி என்னையும் கூப்பிட்டு போனாங்க. அவர் he wanted to address the intellectuals, doctors, lawyers, vice chancellors, professors, all educated people. And he was 1.5 hours late. நான் அப்படி குறுக்க நடுக்க நடந்துட்டு இருந்தேன். ஒரு 600 to 700 intellectuals sitting inside the hall. I found not a single of them were talking in English. All were discussing only in Hindi. For a moment I realized, இதுவே தமிழ்நாடாக இருந்தால் என்ன நடக்கும்? ஒரு ஆளும் தமிழில் பேசியிருக்க மாட்டான், இங்கிலீஷில் தான் பேசியிருப்பாங்க. காரணம், படித்தவன்லாம் இங்கிலீஷில் தான் பேசணும் அல்லது இங்கிலீஷை கலந்து பேசணும்னு ஒரு எண்ணம். இது பார்த்த பிறகு தான் இந்த தமிழ் இயக்கத்தை கொஞ்சம் வேகமாக பண்ணணும்னு நினச்சேன். அது இப்போது திங்கட்கிழமை ஆரம்பிக்கிறோம். நம்முடைய குடியரசுத் தலைவர், மௌரீஷியஸ் குடியரசுத் தலைவர்களும் கயானாவுடைய பிரதமர் அதில் கலந்து கொள்கிறார்கள். வெளிநாடுகளில் வந்திருக்கிற எல்லோரும் அதில் கலந்து கொள்கிறார்கள். சம்பத் அதுக்கு உதவியாக இருந்து எல்லோருக்கும் வேண்டிய ஏற்பாடுகளை செய்திருக்கிறார். I request all of you to attend the Tamil Iyakkam, which is first of its kind in Tamil Nadu. 22 political parties are participating. So far, no conference was attended by all the parties. Whether it will be divided between ruling party, opposition party, etc. Here, all India parties, regional parties, all kinds of parties are participating. We are divided on religion, caste, politics, etc. Let us be united in the name of Tamil. In the name of Tamil. தமிழால் ஒன்றுபடுவோம், அதுதான் அந்த முழக்கம். இங்கே பேசுகின்ற வாய்ப்பை தந்த சம்பத் அவர்களுக்கும் நிர்வாகிகளுக்கும் என்னுடைய நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். வணக்கம்.
இன்றைய இந்த கல்வி நிகழ்விற்கு வருகை தந்துள்ள திரு ராதாகிருஷ்ணன், பாண்டிச்சேரியினுடைய லோக்சபா எம்பி அவர்களையே வருக என்று வரவேற்கின்றேன். அதே போல மதுரையிலிருந்து வந்திருக்கிற கல்வியாளர் திரு விபி சோலைமலை பிச்சை அவர்களையும் வருக என்று வரவேற்கின்றேன். இப்பொழுது இந்த கல்வி செஷனில் ராதாகிருஷ்ணன் அவர்கள், அவர் பேர் என்ன, அதே போல் ராஜ்யசபா எம்பி திரு கோகுல் அவர்களையும் மேடைக்கு வருமாறு அழைக்கிறேன். திரு ராதாகிருஷ்ணன் அவர்கள் ஒரு சில வார்த்தைகள் மாநாட்டை பற்றி பேசுவார்கள். வாங்க.